Hello, this is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a great day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your comments, and thank you for your thumbs up. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are commanded to love one another, whether we want to or not, or whether we agree with each other or not. Well, y'all, I thought you would appreciate this. This guy, Myron Gaines, of the Fresh and Fit squad, who has made it publicly known that he has nothing but disdain for Black Americans, especially Black women. And on his podcast, he loves to use the N-word and anything that he thinks is insulting to Black Americans. By the same token, he has tried to ingratiate himself into white society and assimilate into white conservative, the right-wing people that he seems to think are running the country, which they're not, but that's what he thinks. But anyway, he has done the best job that he could to try to wedge his way into the good graces of these white supremacists. But you know how white people are. Either you're white or you're not. And so these white conservatives are having a moment now. They love the fact that Donald Trump is doing all this mass deportation and he's revoking the TPS status for many and just really running down immigrants and running them out of the country. Myron Gaines, who is a Sudanese immigrant who doesn't seem to realize that he's not in the package and they would just as soon see him leave here as anybody else, has overplayed his hand with these white supremacists. So Turning Point USA, which is the conservative organization founded by the late Charlie Kirk, had some kind of convention or conference lately. Myron Gaines, as good as he felt, was going to crash it. And people are having a field day. Black people are having a field day over this because it has gone viral that they would not let him in their meeting. So I'm going to let you listen to Donnie on Time Out, and then I'm going to let you see a video of him standing there trying to get in the meeting, and they won't let him in.
So Myron Gaines decided to show up to a Turning Point USA event, and he was denied access. If I don't know how to read a room was a person, it'll be Myron Gaines. Have you not heard about all the Somali fraud in Minnesota? You think they're gonna let a Somalian in Turning Point USA? No, I don't care who's he on the phone with. I don't care who you calling right now. You just don't know how to read a room because they're not going to let immigrants in Turning Point USA. These are red-blooded Americans, red-blooded patriots. Why even put yourself in these compromising positions of denial? In denial, because you're immigrant, you're part of the immigrant population, thinking you're going to have access to these kind of events when clearly access denied. Access denied.
So we see this happening over and over again. People come to the United States and they're going to assimilate into white society and be anti-Black, and that's going to be their ticket to ride all the way to the top of the United States power structure. And it never fails that at a point, they get the wake-up call. They get the wake-up call. So Donnie said he was a Somali. He's not a Somali. He's not even Sudanese, because remember the video I did the other day when a real Sudanese came on and said, these people are not Sudanese, they're Arabs. So Myron Gaines is an Arab and he's a Muslim. Turning Point USA is about Christianity, their form of Christianity, but they're about Christianity. They don't even care anything about Muslims. And I don't know how he got as far as he did with them, But they used him, and then when it came down to them coming with their people, coming together with their people, which is white conservatives, they weren't going to let him in. They didn't care that he has been talking trash about black people. He even speaks negatively about Ethiopians and Somalis, and they really want to be Arabs, but the Arabs don't respect them. And the irony is that people like Myron Gaines go out of their way to provoke black people, to insult black people, to try to diminish black people in hopes that he's going to ingratiate himself with white people and become one of them. But it never works. So he has zero net gain for all the trouble that he went to trying to assimilate into a people who have just as much disdain for him as they do for black people. All that trash talking about black people and Ethiopians and Somalis hasn't gotten him where he wanted to be, which was in the room with the real white conservatives. So this is what happened when he showed up.
Getting rejected at MFAC. So Amaru is not. Yeah. So what's happening, David?
Turning Point did a smart thing. They're not allowing Muslims into their conference.
So he's not being allowed in. Security is he's calling nobody because no one's gonna help him get in. So I don't know who he thinks he's calling, but yeah, we got 1 security, 2, 3, and the event security. And he's calling. I think he's calling like Andrew Tate to help him get in or something. Nope, not gonna happen, bud. Yeah, he's like, I'm right here at the corner. Just come get me. But he has no chance.
Well. How humiliating is that? He's standing there and those people are just ignoring him. Now they know he's trying to get into that conference and they're just walking around ignoring him. And I think they said there were 3 security people there. Now they're ignoring him, but if he makes a break for the entrance to get in one of those rooms, you can bet your bottom dollar they're going to drag his butt all the way back to where he's standing now. They're just going to let him stand there talking on the phone. As the man said, who does he think he's talking to? They've already told him he's not coming in. He said they're not allowing any Muslims in. And that man started laughing. They know he's just made a complete fool out of himself. And they're standing there watching him do it. And he's trying to look, he's talking to somebody on the phone, trying to make it look like somebody's going to get him in. Well, they're not going to get him in. So this is the very long overdue wake-up call that was always going to happen to him. This was the wake-up call that was always going to happen. It was always at the end of whatever journey he called himself on. And these white people are having a field day laughing at him behind his back and not letting him in. And they don't care how long he stands there, and they don't care how many people he calls on his cell phone. He's not getting into that conference. These people going to learn to stop playing with us. Now, the white people know that he has insulted and really ruined himself with black people. So it's not like they're trying to, buddy up with him. They're letting him know where he really stands, which is really on the outside of America. So these non-white immigrants that come to the United States, and I include Africans and Caribbeans in that, they think if they come here, become anti-black, and start taking on white people's talking points, that that's going to give them the buy-in into white society. They're going to tell the white people that, no, you're not racist. Yes, those black people are just playing the victim. Black people are the problem in the United States, not white people. Even on one of Tariq Nasheed's podcast that I was listening to, a Somali woman called in and told Tariq, now this has been about 2 or 3 years ago, I don't believe in white supremacy. There's no such thing as white supremacy. Well, what is she looking at now up there in Minnesota, the president of the United States calling them garbage? So they gonna learn. They are going to learn to stop playing with us. We know this country and we know these people. And even though they think that they are going to become white by attacking Black Americans, white people know that's not going to work, and we do too. And white people don't care if Black people call them racist. They don't care if we play the race card, because white people know something that these immigrants don't know. Black people are baked in the cake. We can talk about them all we want to, and they can talk about us all they want to. And the situation really isn't going to change that much. But the immigrants have to learn that the hard way. Okay? A bought lesson is the best kind. So Myron Gaines got that long overdue wake up call. He is not white. He will never be white. No matter how much he hates Black people, it's not going to turn him white. And he might as well accept it. That is the message that they sent him. Okay, y'all, let me know what you think about the video. I hope you had a good laugh on this one. Have a good evening.